Hi everyone, my name is Steve Whiting and I'm so excited to have you in this video here today. If you are an agent and you want to become the #1 agent in your marketplace, hands down, then this is absolutely the right video for you. It's also the right video for you even if you think to yourself, Steve, I'm not that good at social media. I'm not exactly sure how to become a social media influencer. I'm not really sure how to become that, but I have the desire and I want to be the #1 agent, or at least I want to dominate a lot of the mind share that the top 2 or 3 agents have in the marketplace, and I want to be one of those agents, then this is absolutely the right video for you. So obviously a lot of things have happened with social media after the last few years, and I just want to share with you a few concepts that I believe will set the stage for your business going forward, especially at this time in this era that we're in right now. This is by far the age of the influence. So what do I mean by that? I mean in the sense that if you think about guys like Tony Robbins, Tom Ferry, Gary Vaynerchuk, you at least know one of those names, if not all 3. Now, obviously Tony Robbins is one of the biggest motivational speakers in the world, Tom Ferry being one of the #1 real estate coaches in the world, and Gary Vaynerchuk, probably the leader when it comes to really understanding your digital brand and creating a voice. And he's an incredible influencer, a great guy to follow along this topic as well. So what does this have to do with you? You think to yourself, Steve, I just want to generate some more leads for my real estate business. I want to grow it. I want to learn how to convert leads. Why do I need to be learning about influence? This is so important because you don't have to become the Tony Robbins in your marketplace, although you can be, but you can most certainly become the Tony Robbins in a niche, your local area, your expert, like the areas that you farm, the areas that you want to become the #1 agent. If you ask people on the street to name 3 real estate agents, they typically can always name 1, sometimes 2, and often 3. But their mind share will only have 1 to 3 spots. And you can learn all about this in The Millionaire Real Estate Agent by Gary Keller. These are well-known facts. I'm not just making this up. The mind share can only have a certain amount of agents in it. And you want to be one of those top 3 agents. And here's why. There's a formula that we have used. So we have worked with thousands of real estate agents. We spent millions and millions of dollars on Facebook now of our own money and with our realtors. We have converted a ton of our own leads, as well as obviously working with our agents to convert leads. And the lead conversion process really comes down to 3 components. I want to talk to you about those right now. So the very bottom of the funnel, if you think about it, is going to be trust. And I'm going to work my way up. And you'll see how this is all tying in. Trust is so important. A lot of people, be it Facebook or, they want to generate leads in some various form, and they go out and they run a campaign and they forget about the trust component, and they're so confused why leads don't want to work with them because they haven't established trust. And I'm going to show you how you can actually accelerate trust. Even though trust is typically a slow game, it's really about slow is fast when it comes to trust. But I'm going to show you how you can build trust at scale. The second component is likability. So we call it like. People have to like you. If they like you and they trust you, they're going to do business with you. If they like you but they don't trust you, they're not going to do business with you. And if they don't like you but they trust you, they may do business with you, but they probably won't. But here's the big component. We call it know, like, and trust. This is why it's the age of the influencer. We have worked with so many real estate agents now that when they get this concept right, the rest of this falls into place. There's still work here. But what I mean by this is that when they understand that what social media really represents to them is the ability for them to build their brand, build their know, become an influencer in their market, and operate and own that mindshare. And you can do it so easily. You can do it if you follow our program, and if you actually follow like the systems and the tools that we teach you, most of it being for free, you can accelerate this and you can become one of the top influencers in your marketplace. And if you operate that, think about that. If you're the person that people turn to, if you're the one that they follow in your marketplace, and you're likable, and they can build trust with you, you're going to dominate. You're going to have most of the inventory in the market because you have the know. If you have the greatest ability to be liked and trust, and nobody knows who you are, then it's an uphill battle. And we believe now for businesses like ours, like any other business online, and especially for real estate agents, that you will be drowned out if you don't understand how to leverage the influence in your market, because it's no longer about just buying leads and growing your business or being transactional. It really is about establishing and building long-term relationships, understanding how to leverage your database, and really understanding how to leverage influence in your marketplace. And if you can do that correctly, some pretty exciting things happen. So I just want to share with you one of the biggest mistakes that real estate agents make when they think about Facebook, Zillow, Realtor.com, any place that they're looking to basically attract more clients and grow their business. And that is that they don't leverage their brand. So what do I mean by that? Okay, well, if you think about it, when you're running social media advertising, specifically think about Facebook for a moment, and you want to grow your influence, and you're running your ads under another company that's running their brand on it, so all you're doing is you're buying leads. That's all you get. You get the leads. Nobody sees your brand. Nobody is exposed to your brand. You have no brand presence in that market other than the company that you're buying the leads through. You're just buying leads. You're missing out on 90% of what social media is. If you think about it, you're using the bottom 10%, which is I can actually get leads out of my market, and the top 90%, which is I can build influence in my marketplace. This is by far the number one mistake we see agents making. And I mean, nothing against buying leads. If you want to go to Zillow, or if you want to go to Realtor.com and you want to buy leads, that's great. But that's a commodity. Buying leads is a commodity. If you want to build a long-term influence, well, you can always be buying leads on the bottom, but if you want to dominate your market, it's about understanding how to build influence, and then sure, having great campaigns that generate leads, that's critical. That's a lot of what we do. But you need to make sure that you're building your brand along the way. Please do not run ads that are not leveraging your brand. You are missing out on 90% of what social media represents for you. So once again, if you're thinking, Steve, I'm just trying to understand how to do this. What's my first step? Building influence takes time. Where do I start? How do I get going? We are such big believers in this influence that we're going to lead you down this path. We're going to show you what to do next. But I just want to explain to you kind of how the influencer component works and how to really leverage social media. So if you think about it, you're going to have influencers at the top. They're going to create typically the original content, the voice in the market. And if you think hyper-local niche, it might be the person, like if you created a neighborhood group and you're providing events about that group, updates about that group, maybe, fires or crime, whatever it may be, anything that's happening in that community, you're updating that community. You become the influencer in that group. People start to turn to you and look to you. You can provide stats about the group. It's really easy to become an influencer, especially if you start small and you begin to build. So just think of a local neighborhood that you want to become an influencer within your community, knowing all the school zones within that community, whatever it may be. Just think about how that starts. Then, let's say that you have that voice and you're creating it, you then tie it to promoters. When you think about Tony Robbins, Tom Ferry, or Gary Vaynerchuk, they create this and they have passionate fans that follow them, people that really believe in their content, and they are promoters and they share. They get the word out. Without those people, these guys would never be at the stage and the size that they are today. They're able to leverage, they encourage their promoters, they reward their promoters, and we'll get more into that going forward. But it is so easy to build loyal fans and promoters that love you and follow you. But that's how social media works. And then there's everyone else. There's me, there's you. I mean, maybe you've already do a lot of this, but for the most part, I'm like this. Although this is where your ideal clients are, this is where our ideal clients are. And 80% of people in North America is signed up and logged in. Every adult. 80% of every adult is on Facebook. Instagram is rising so fast as well. All of your home sellers, your future home sellers and home buyers are on Facebook and Instagram. You just need to be able to get in front of them. This is your everywhere else. So this is where we start. We always start in this quadrant right here, which is Facebook and Instagram ads. And the reason we start here for an influencer is that this combines the influence component and the promoting. They do this initially for you. So if you think about it, when we run an ad on Facebook and Instagram, we're able to create content that we want to promote, and then Facebook, using their algorithm, can promote it to the exact people that you want to show your content to, leveraging your brand, beginning to get the wheel turning. So when you run the correct kind of campaigns, you're going to get ROI on them right away. Otherwise, it's a slow journey. If you're only going for brand awareness, that's fine, but you're going to be spending money as well. If you can bring leads in at the same time and begin to build your database, get some transactions, keep growing your brand, rinse and repeat, and then you start bolting on the next components of how to really build and accelerate your influence, be it Facebook groups. I'll go into more of that later. But the point is that when you leverage ads right out of the gate, you can immediately get influence and you can begin to promote your brand because Facebook's doing that for you, and you can get in front of your ideal audience. And this is the fast track. So there's some big concepts here. I really want you to take this in. Feel free to ask questions and comment below. But what I invite you to do is I have a challenge for you. If you resonate with this and you go, you know what, I would like in the next 1 to 5 years become one of the top agents in my marketplace. I'd love to upset those that are currently holding the position, and I believe and I understand the power of social media, or I just believe in it and I want to understand it more, then I encourage you to take the 7-day challenge, which there's going to be a link for that below. You're going to join Marcus, as Marcus is going to walk you through the 7-day challenge, how that looks, how we do everything for you over that 7 days. We're going to set up your first ad campaign. We're going to leverage your brand. We're going to begin to build your influence over the next 7 days. Now, if you think, oh my goodness, in 7 days, how much influence can I build? Well, yeah, you're right. You can't build a ton of it, but I bet you we can still show your brand to between 3,000 to 5,000 people, and you can begin to experience how it works. You're going to be working with ad specialists over those 7 days. You're going to be invited into our community where you can actually learn and begin to see how you can accelerate your brand. That's my challenge for you. Marcus has worked with he interviews every one of our top agents. He has converted hundreds if not thousands of leads on his own. He will walk you through the process of getting some initial ROI and beginning to understand how to build your brand. And so he'll walk you through that. You can actually watch a live video with him right now if you click on that button to take the 7-day challenge. And that's my invitation for you. If you want to learn how to grow influence in your marketplace and become one of the #1 agents, I highly recommend it for you. Look forward to seeing you on the other side in that 7-day challenge. Thanks so much.